guys, how's it going today? Woo! Whew, that was a hype intro. Welcome back to the Friday live stream, guys. We're going to bring you some flipping and money-making content today, but I know a lot of you expect that, and since it's Friday, we're taking a little trip down to Mexico. We've got the Tecate, a Mexican beer here today to enjoy while we get into this flipping session. Now, I'm super excited today because, listen, JackX wants to make a bunch of trades, or that's not trades, a bunch of changes to a ton of these PVM items that are in the game, right? They want to try to kind of avoid power creep and readjust some of the stats on some of these items and adjust the requirements that some of these items have. And because of this, margins today, I believe, are going to be freaking insane, guys. So we'll see how much we can make today. We did pop up 2 accounts as well today, guys. We have about let's see, 1.4 bill here on the main. We also have 200 mil on the alt account as well. So good to see everybody here today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Saints Van in Van, good to see you. Everyone over on YouTube as well. We have Anna, James T, Johnny D. Good to see everyone. Michael Smith as well. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Let's get into it, guys. Now, I haven't flipped the bludgeon. I actually sold the bludgeon, but I didn't make any money on it, so that's why it's there. But anyway, Buoyant Tofu says, oh yeah, how are your grapes? Rest in peace. We sold the grapes already, but guys, I don't want to waste too much time. I'm going to go ahead and get into this today. We're going to do the Dragon Warhammer right off the bat. I know this is a solid flip today, and I don't want to wait too long to get this thing off, okay? So we're going to do the Dragon Warhammer just straight off the bat today. I'm hoping this thing's going to be decent to trade. I have seen a couple reports that this thing's trading for quite a good margin, so we're going to, wow, pretty decent margin right on that immediately off the bat. Whew, today could be a really good session for us, guys. I'm really excited to see how much we can make today. I hope you guys are excited as well. Be sure to drop a like if you are. We've also got the beer in hand as well. We're going to get into that as soon as we list our items. Now, we're going to do all of this stuff on the main account first, and then we'll go ahead and list everything on the alt account, and we'll try to make a little bit of money today, guys. Now, I do want to try the Basilisk Jaws at some point, but it is not an item I'm going to do right off the bat. The next thing we're going to actually list is the Justiciar Face Guard. Now, I do want to try and flip a few of these today because I think it's an item that's sort of missed a lot of the update hype, and I don't think there's going to be a lot of competition for this thing, so I want to see if we can sneak a little quick trade in, you know what I mean? Little cheeky trade, try to get a few of those flipped. Benny says, what's up? Good to see you, Benny. Thank you for tuning in, man. We also have Beautiful RS tuning in saying, hey, I'm excited. Dragon Stick as well. We have Relaxing with me coming in with the what's up? Good to see you relaxing with me. Whew. Welcome, everybody, today. We're going to get into this beer, man. I'm excited, and I think today is going to be an incredible session here today. I mean, margins have just been all over the place recently, and I think it's going to be amazing for us today as far as all of our trades go. So I don't want to get too optimistic, but I do think it's going to be a pretty solid session for us. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and do, you know, my goal today is obviously there's a lot of items that are getting some hype changes, right? Lots of changes coming into the game here very soon, and they're not finalized, right? JackX is going to make some adjustments on some of these things, so nothing is final. That being said, my strategy for today is to avoid those items that are so, hyped up right now, right? I just want to trade solid high-end PVM items that are kind of being overlooked, right? That aren't really getting updates. They might be affected by some of the updates, but I don't want to flip things in the spotlight because I think flipping things that are kind of off to the side is going to be where the true opportunity is at, and it's also going to be a lot less risky, guys. So that's kind of my goal for today. But we do have the alt account as well for those who are just popping in. There's sound in the background. Why has this always happened to me? Let me try and figure it out here. Let me see. There shouldn't be. I don't think I have any extra tabs open. Oh, you know what it is? Give me 1 second here, guys. Sorry, that was supposed to be music. You know... Okay, look, I'm coming clean. I share my Spotify account, okay? So sometimes when my friend uses it, he switches the songs and it happens during live stream. Sorry about that, guys. Do apologize. They were playing a podcast. How disrespectful of them. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into it here today. Let me just make sure that they get off that. Okay, we're good. We're solid. Thank you guys for bearing through that, okay? Let's go ahead and flip a few items here today, guys. Okay, let me just go turn on my AC, though. I'm freaking sweating already. All right, we're good to go. Okay, so I'm so all over the place. We still have 539 mil on the main account, so let's go ahead and put that to work. I'm going to do the Diamond Dragon Bolts E next, and we also might go ahead and do the Dragon Darts as well, right? Because both of those, I think, are going to be really good flips today, as both are going to be affected by the blowpipe nerfs, believe it or not. And unfortunately, the Diamond Dragon Bolts E not pulling through on the margin today, so we'll go ahead and check out the Dragon Darts. And we still have a lot of money to work with here, right? So I don't want to misallocate too much. We're going to make sure we get everything in here today. And we're just going to have a good time today, make some money. And currently we're down 625K off margin checks alone. So that alone is shaping up to be a good session. Now, we're going to get into everyone's questions in the live chat here in a minute. I just do want to go ahead and list a couple of items. That way we're making money while we sit here and wait. Now, if we have a good margin on what? The Carol's leather top? Dude, this thing is freaking skyrocketed. Okay, we'll definitely take a look at that here in a minute. I did expect that to instant buy, and it didn't instant buy, so that's quite an interesting situation on that one. We're going to go ahead and try to buy another one of these. How expensive are these? Hold on. This is so odd. 4 mil? Can we get one? Okay, we did. Okay. Luckily, they weren't super high in price, which is good. And I do think there's a lot of opportunities that people are missing today, and that's what I'm actually trying to play on today. I'm not trying to flip those, like, really intense, like, really in-demand, like, hype items. I mean, I guess the Dragon Warhammer is a little bit in that category, but besides that, I'm trying to keep it low-key today, try to flip those things that people aren't really thinking about, and just make money off of it. Because I think that's honestly the strategy. When things get super volatile, you don't want to flip the hype items because, yes, they could make you a ton of money. And I see you guys in the Discord, okay? Some of you are making a freaking killing right now, which is great. I mean, I cannot complain about that, and good for you guys. But those are very risky flips. You have to keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and we have 483 mil still left to work with. I kind of want to see if we can do some of the Justiciar legs as well. I do think the Justiciar flips are going to take a little bit longer, but they should be pretty profitable either way. So many people in the live chat today. Welcome, everybody. I really do appreciate you guys tuning in today, and thank you for tuning in. I mean, I really appreciate it. Let's go ahead and list a few of these Justiciar legs. Those are looking really solid as well. I do want to do the Dragon Hunter Lance, but it might run us up to the full price limit, or not our full price limit, our full cash stack, which will be interesting if that does happen. But we do have the alt account as well to take advantage of, and we're going to do both of those today. Doesn't really look like the Lance has too much price action, but we'll go ahead and list one anyway. And on top of it all, should we do the Basilisk Jaw? Like, it's a risky one. I don't know. We might have to get into that later, but I don't think we're going to do it quite yet off the bat. We're going to list something more simple than that. We'll do maybe... let's see. We'll do the Zamorakian Hasta. That'll be a good one. And we'll go ahead and flip a few of these back and forth. It does actually look like the Zamorak Hasta did get a little bit of a price bump, which is good for us. That means that it's probably more volatile than it usually is, which means we have more opportunity to make money off of it. Now, on top of that as well, we're going to go ahead and list a few items on the alt account. Now, I think what we're going to do on the alt account, though, is try to get on these Carols as well and see if we can make a little bit of money on those. We'll just do, yeah, we'll do that across both accounts here. I just want to make sure I'm getting the margins right when I go ahead and list everything, because there's nothing worse than when you list one account on a higher margin than the other account. It really stinks. We actually already got the Lances, so we're going to go back and flip those. And we only have one Dragon Warhammer right now. Probably could use a little bit of a price bump in the upward direction, so we'll actually do that really quick. Not really a significant one, just like a slight bump upwards. And we'll go back and list a couple more of those. Guys, how are you doing today? Happy Friday. I hope you guys are ready to sit back, kick back, and make a little bit of money today. If you haven't left a like on the stream yet, please leave a like. It really does help me out a lot. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. I'm always bringing flipping content and flipping live streams to the channel for you guys to enjoy. So hopefully you do enjoy it. So many items are moving right now. I'm trying to get everything listed. I'm trying to keep things moving, but it's just not as easy as I thought it would be, honestly. You know, I thought trades would be a little bit slower, but we'd have enough time to kind of flip everything. But anyway, Ovlad, thank you for the follow, man, over on Twitch. We do appreciate that. Twitch is like a new venture of ours, okay? So we do streaming on YouTube and Twitch. So for everyone tuning in, just in case you didn't know, that is the case. But if you do want to stay tuned to when we do live stream, you can check us out on Discord. We have a Discord dedicated to flipping and money making in old school RuneScape. So I hope you guys have been enjoying that. That's like a recent, or not really a recent venture, but it's been something we've been working at for a while. So anyway, so many people in here today. Welcome, everybody. We will get into all the comments, don't you worry. I always do. It's just, I need to get everything listed. We have 2 accounts going today, so we need to make sure that we are leveraging all the GP that we have and all the Grand Exchange slots we have. So, I am actually going to list these Amaraki and Hostas on both accounts here. We did sell the Dragon Claws, which is really, really great, and I'm very happy we got those off. And we'll go ahead and list a few of the Hostas. We'll keep it casual on this account for now. Let me just get one more flip in since we do have the money. We'll do the Amulet of Fury in the last slot. Should be a pretty decent flip. Shouldn't be too difficult to get that traded, and should net us a safe profit. Let's go ahead and put that in. Let's see. Okay, pretty well. I mean, good enough, I guess. Not really that great, but whew. Let's get that listed, ready to do its thing. Welcome, everybody, to the stream today. I hope you are enjoying it. Let's get into the beer today, guys. You guys know it's a Friday stream, which typically means we're going to have a beer while we flip today, and we'll see how we do today. I mean, I have a lot of confidence in today's session. Just keep in mind today, guys, that this total profit that you see on the screen, that is only across one account. Unfortunately, flipping utilities cannot update it in real time, and I'll have to update it at the end with the true profit by logging out and logging back in. So just keep that in mind as we go through this session. Now we are going to go ahead and flip a few more of the lances because they weren't a great margin, but they're pretty easy to flip, so I think we should give it another shot here. Also, I'm thinking maybe we give the Kodai wand a little bit of a shot here as well. Although I do think this one, I don't really want to pay for a margin check on it. So, okay, looks like we're going to pay for a margin check on it. But we'll go ahead and list these back as well. And wow, monster margin on that thing. Let's go ahead and get a few of those traded. Welcome, everybody, today. Let's get into it. Whew, today's going to be a wild ride on the Grand Exchange. I'm so happy some of you guys are here. Like, if you're tuning in for the first time, or maybe if you're a returning subscriber, like, today is one of those sessions, boys. I'm telling you. Anyway, let's get into the comments here. Let's say hi to everyone. Q Levy, good to see you, man. And we have Ovlad asking a question over on Twitch. He says, is 16 mil okay to, is it 16 mil enough to flip with, basically? Yes, 16 mil is a perfect amount of money to go ahead and flip with on the Grand Exchange. We have a ton of video guides on the channel that go through flipping with 10 mil, 20, or I think we have 10 mil, 50 mil, 100 mil, I think those are like the 3 guides that are the most popular. On top of that as well, we have a flipping 10 to 100 mil flipping series, which you can take advantage of as well. So yes, that is plenty of money to flip with, and yeah, just get into it, man. Get on the Grand Exchange, trade a few items back and forth, and just like have a good time with it, because honestly, I love flipping in RuneScape and I love teaching it, so I'm glad you guys are here. One of my favorite beers, guys. Buoyant Tofu says, I miss flipping. I don't think I can flip under 100 mil anymore. Dude, once you get a bigger cash stack and you get spoiled with like higher cash stack flipping, you like never go back. Or you could go back, but you never want to. Add planks too. Check out the Toad Flax seeds as well. Dragon Stick, we'll give both of those a shot today. Maybe over on the alt account, because I think we'll focus on some more high volume stuff on the alt account while we focus on some, you know, bigger margin stuff on the main. So one problem we're already running into is these Carol's leather tops have already stopped buying, so that's going to be an obvious price bump. I mean, I think there's a lot of potential on these Carol's leather tops today, so we're going to cycle back in for a higher buy price, and we're going to have to do that across both accounts. Now, we also have the Amulets of Fury buying over on the alt account, so we'll go ahead and list a few of those. And we're going to let them do their thing. There's been a lot of price movement. Things are very volatile today. Lots of trades going on, which is good. So if you are someone who's flipping on the Grand Exchange, you want items to be volatile because that means margins are going to be bigger and trades are going to fill faster. So that's really what you're looking for. And let me go ahead and list these Carol's leather tops as well. So I mean, if you're someone who like actively flips a fair amount, this is like the prime time for you. Okay, this is a perfect update. It's sending items in all directions. Lots of volatility across so many items. items. And if you're not taking advantage of it, I highly recommend logging on and trying to trade a few things. Mira says, margins have been crazy lately. Mira, no kidding, man. We have Q Levy as well. Thank you. Good to see you, man. And thanks for tuning in. I'm a little bit all over the place mentally today because I didn't get great rest last night. So I'm trying to get through this commentary and not say too many stupid things. So if I get a little loopy, let me know. But regardless, James T pops in. He says, what beer are you drinking? We're going to Mexico today, boys. We're drinking a Tecate, which is a Mexican beer. I don't know. It's not that unique, but it's one of my favorites. You know, we could have gone with the Miller Lite, but I thought we'd spice it up. You know what I mean? Anyway, we do have this Dragon Warhammer on hand that is sitting in our inventory, so I want to make sure we go list this back. What the... Dude, this thing is freaking skyrocketing right now. Like, this isn't even funny, man. Okay, I want to get back in on that margin, but I mean, how do I even re-enter this? That's like what I'm curious about. Anyway, we'll go ahead and list those back. I mean, that instant sold, and I did not expect that. Horse Detective says, so with a 9K margin on Furies, are you just working with that, or are you trying to widen the margin? I'm just working with that right off the bat. I'm not trying to stretch it at all, because Amulets of Fury are a pretty frequently traded item, and items that are frequently traded, you don't really have a lot of price leverage with, so unfortunately, we can't really make any more off those than the, like, 9K that we're getting. So, unfortunately, that's how much we're going to make on it. Otherwise, though, we're just going to... I like to flip Furies, even if they're only a 9K margin, because they're usually really, really easy to flip. I mean, look how quick this thing's been flipping, how safe of a profit it is, and those things matter to me. I want items that trade quickly and safely. Those are two very important things for me, as I'm a pretty risk-adverse flipper, so I like safe profits, I like consistent profits, and the Amulet of Fury is a great item for that. Now, another great item most of the time is the Amulet of Torture, so we're going to see if that has any good margins on it today. I don't think any, like, update, you know, changes really affect the Amulet of Torture, so we'll have to see, but it does look like it is a little bit more volatile either way, so we're going to go ahead and list a few of these. We'll get 7 of them listed and let them do their thing. Now, I do want to cycle onto the Amulets of Torture over on the alt account as well, but we don't quite have enough money for that yet, so we're just going to sit back for now. Old Vlad says, Zulrah scales are good for starting. Yes, and I'm going to go ahead and flip those right now, I think. We do have 248 mil sitting on the main account, which needs to go to work. So I don't know what we'll do. I think I do want to leave these Dragon Warhammers in here, but I'm going to let the face guards and the leg guards sit for a little bit longer, and we're just going to kind of let things sit for a while. Tyler Stanley says, hey, I finally made it to a stream. Good to see you, Tyler. Thank you for tuning in today. If you are enjoying the stream, be sure to leave a like. And also, guys, if you aren't with us over on Discord, be sure to join us with the link in the description below. We have a Discord group dedicated to flipping and money making in old school RuneScape, and we would love to have you there. I'm having a good feeling about today, guys. I think we're going to be able to make a lot of money today, and I'm really excited about it. So, anyway, we're going to sell these Amulets of Fury. We completely sold those off. Very, very nice. Now, we do have 13 mil on the alt account, and what we're going to do is the Oak Planks next. Now, Oak Planks and Mahogany Planks are two of my, I'm not going to say like my favorite high volume flips, but they're very, very solid high volume flips. And the reason that is for some reason, these things move around in margin and in price very frequently. I'm not really sure why it is, because they are considered a high volume item, so I don't know why they have so many fluctuations. It might be because of botting, but I really don't know. All I know is they're a great flip to take advantage of. The Oak Planks, you can flip the limit for about 6 mil. I think a little bit less, maybe like 5.3 mil, and the Mahogany Planks, you can flip the limit for about 29 mil, but again, you don't have to flip the limit of every single item, but generally I like to, just because you're going to make the most profit out of it if you do flip the limit. Now, we do have these Zamorak and Hastas that are not doing anything. You know, we didn't pay a huge margin check on those, so I'm not, like, glued to that flip. I don't think we have to flip that today. But something that I do really want to flip is the Primordial Boots. Now, the Primordial Boots these past couple of streams have been a super solid performer for us, so I want to see if we can get a good margin on that today as well. And you know what? It's nothing crazy, but it is good enough. So let's go ahead and list a few of those. We'll get 10 of those on the Grand Exchange, flipping back and forth. And yeah, we're just going to let things sit for now. Also, we haven't gotten any Dragon Darts yet for whatever reason, so we're going to walk away from those as well. And we do have 32 mil left on the alt account. We'll do the Blood Runes next. And let's see, the tortures are doing well. Everything's doing good right now. I mean, we are down about 873k, but trust me, once we get the few of the right items traded, that's going to skyrocket. So very excited about that. Let's go ahead and, I mean, it's only a 2 GP margin on the Blood Runes. We'll stay away from that, and we will flip the Zulver Scales in its place. Zulver Scales are one of, okay, I can say with confidence that Zulver Scales are one of my favorite high volume flips. Just give me one sec, guys. All right, we're good. Sorry, I had to silence my phone there. But you probably couldn't hear it anyway, but regardless, we're going to go ahead and flip these Zulver Scales, and these are one of my favorite high-volume flips, and the reason that is because they are just super, super consistent, and they're, like, here's the thing, is the Zulver Scales have a limit of 30,000 every 4 hours, so even if you're only getting a 2 GP margin on the Zulver Scales, you're still making a lot of money on them, because think about it, 30,000 times 2, 60,000, still a decent profit, even on a small margin, so the quantity on that one's really high, and they're super simple to flip. Probably my #1 beginner item to flip. Like, if I had to recommend someone one item to try, I would say Zulver Scales, because it's just so scalable. I am Sebaloco says, Carol skirts about 100k margin minutes ago. Very volatile. Thank you so much. I am Sebaloco. We will give those a shot today. You should check the Bandos chest plates. We'll give those a look as well. Thank you for all the suggestions, guys. We're going to get into all of it today. We have plenty of time to flip today, okay? The margins are going to be great all day, all night. I guarantee it. Things have been very volatile recently. So I do want to go ahead and do those Carol's leather skirts on the alt account here. And just because I know they're cheaper than the other Carol's pieces, which they are, let's see. I just want to make sure we can actually get a decent margin on that. And yeah, we can, so that's great. And we'll get a few of these moved back and forth. The limit of these, now, this is a Barrows item, right? So the limit is 15 every 4 hours, which is super, super high. Very happy about that. And this is a day where you really want to flip on 2 accounts, because this is a day where, with everything being super volatile, you could really benefit off 2 quantities, or like 2 item limit quantities, right? So we're going to take so much advantage today of all these margins. Like, it's going to be crazy, and I'm really looking forward to it. So Duarte Alves says, hi there, how high do you think the Dragon crossbows are going to reach? You know, it's really impossible to know how high they're going to go in price. They're definitely going to go up in price, but who knows when it will end. I mean, what is the Dragon Hunter crossbow even going for right now? I heard it almost got up to like 100 mil, maybe? I don't know if it went over, though. Let me know if it did. Do Brimstones and Blighted Restores on your alt. That's actually really 2 solid options. Let's do the Brimstones first. Brimstones tend to have a pretty decent margin, so let's take advantage of that. Well, as soon as I say that, though, it's like I curse the item and it has a terrible margin afterwards. Ooh, not bad, though. I have to stop saying that before I flip the item. And we'll go ahead and do the Brimstone Rings. We don't have quite enough money to do the limit, so we'll just leave that there for now. Also, we got the Pegasian, or not the Pegasians, the Primordial Boots over on the main account. Let's go ahead and trade those back to the Grand Exchange for a little bit less than we bought them. Or, sorry, a little bit more than we bought them. We wouldn't want to sell it for less because we would lose money. I told you I was a little loopy. Chicken Dinner says, good evening, man. Managed to catch you today. Good to see you, Chicken Dinner. Thank you for tuning in. He says, not got to be online myself, but look forward to seeing what you can make again. Good luck. Have fun. Chicken Dinner, we're going to do our best today, man, to make a solid profit. I think things are really volatile today, so I think we will be able to make a good amount of coin. But again, the Grand Exchange sometimes has different plans, so we're going to have to see. Now, we also have Saints Van in a van coming in and saying the Dragon Hunter crossbow was 101 mil yesterday, an 11 mil increase in one day. That is freaking crazy, man. I mean, when Jagex says they're specifically changing items, like, that is guaranteed high volatility, okay? And you know what's crazy about this situation? And, you know, I haven't seen anything like this in the entire time I've played this game. Like, Jagex is saying, hey, we're changing all of these items. Well, what do you think that's going to do to the economy, right? It's going to go freaking nuts if, like, when players hear that. And sure enough, that's what it's done. And I mean, you know, I probably wouldn't even announce the changes if I was Jagex. I would have just released them onto the Grand Exchange, because when you know, say these updates are coming into the game, like, you're sending the economy into a rampage, right? So, if they don't mind doing that, then fine. But right now, it's, I mean, it's just, how do you want to handle that situation, I guess? Regardless, I forgot to put my flipping utilities timers back on, so I am actually going to go ahead and do that. And unfortunately, it will not track my prices as of right now, or it won't track the time that I've had these items in, because I didn't have the timers on. But as we go on, I'm sure we will get some use out of those timers. I know. Whew. My commentary is a little all over the place today, but I'm doing my best. I didn't get a lot of sleep, okay? And I didn't get a lot of sleep last night and the night before that, so I'm a little crazy right now. Anyway, guys, if you are enjoying the stream today, be sure to drop a like. It really does help me out a lot. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. I'm always bringing flipping content and flipping live streams to the channel for you guys to enjoy, so hopefully you do enjoy it. One interesting thing that we have going on right now is these Dragon Warhammers are buying back up. Now, I might have too high of an offer in, but I really don't think they're too crazy in price. I think we will be able to sell these back for like 150k margin each. I would be a little bit surprised if we couldn't get that. One thing that we do need to adjust, though, is these amulets of torture. They've been sitting for a little bit too long, so we're going to go ahead and switch that around here. And also, those timers updated, so that's really cool, actually. I didn't know it tracked them and just didn't show them, so that's nice. We also got the Kodai one, which we're going to go ahead and bump up the offer on that one just slightly. Let me make sure I type it in right. And there we go. We're going to go ahead and list 4 of those, let them do their thing. I think the Ancestral Gear is another flip we're going to cycle into at some point here in the stream. But we need to clear up a few more inventory, or, sorry, Grand Exchange slots before we go ahead and do that. We're going to list those Brimstone Rings back, let them do their thing. No luck on these Zamorakian Hostas yet, so we're not going to sit around and try to flip them. We're just going to cycle out of them. Also, I do want to go ahead and do the Ranger's Boots today, which, you know, I guarantee this is going to be a pretty hefty price check on these. This is not an item that I normally would price check, so just keep that in mind. Like, you should not price check Ranger Boots, in my opinion, especially because a lot of people flip Ranger's Boots thinking they're an easy flip, but these things flip very, very slowly, and they're not easy at all, so... If I forgot to say it at the beginning of the stream, the alt account is working with about 200 mil today. And I like to do that when I'm on live stream because I like to showcase 2 different cash stacks, right? 200 mil is obviously a lot less than 1.4 bill, and the items you're going to flip using 1.4 bill and 200 mil are going to be significantly different. So we kind of showcase 2 sides of the cash stack. Regardless, guys, I want to know, what have you guys been flipping, okay? What have you guys been making money on? Because I'm actually super curious. I haven't had a ton of time to flip over the past couple of days, so this is really the first time I'm taking a great stab at the Grand Exchange to try to make a little bit of profit. Now, if you guys are flipping some crazy items and you're making bank on it, I do want to know. And of course, post the screenshots on Discord, man. I love hearing it. Or not even hearing it, just seeing it. Give me 1 second here, guys. Never mind, I don't need a second. Let's see. Saints fan in advance says, I had a 98% ROI on the Dragon Mace yesterday. I was shocked. 98%? How long? Well, first of all, how long did it take to actually do that trade, though? Because if you got that overnight, maybe I'd understand it, just because of, like, the player sentiment around the Mace right now. And I think they're changing the speed that it attacks, right? And maybe some of the requirements on it. I don't exactly remember. I actually missed that one in my investment analysis video. We have Tyler Stanley saying, I just made 100k off an overnight flip on Dragon Axis. That's pretty good. Justice Tiger says, how do you show the timers? The timers come from a plugin called Flipping Utilities. If you're flipping without Flipping Utilities, you are missing out big time. It is one of the best flipping plugins. I think it's the only really true flipping plugin that actually is, you know, gives you some decent information, right? So I highly recommend using flipping utilities if you don't use it already, because it honestly, it just tracks so many items for you, and it's super, super useful. So it's a plugin through the RuneLite client. Go and download it if you haven't already. Super useful. Oh, Q Levy, that's an item I have not flipped in a long time. We're going to go ahead and do that on the alt account right now. The Amethyst Crystal is coming up next. We'll go ahead and list a few of these. Now, I usually flip the Amethyst Crystal a lot, but I have not recently. And they look really cheap in price right now, so I would like to take advantage of that. And we could get a nice little bank flip on it today. We'll have to see. Try to make a little bit of profit on that. You know what I mean? Hopefully you're not flipping them right now either, or I'd feel kind of bad. Regardless, though, could you enable the timers on the second account as well? Yeah, I don't see why not. You probably won't be able to read them, but... there we go. Does that work? Can you guys see that? Yeah, you might barely be able to see it. Anyway. Got a good flip on the Carol's skirts while I'm in there trying to flip that same thing as well. The Carol's leather skirts are taking a little bit longer than I did expect, actually. Thought we'd be done with the limit by then, but or by now, excuse me, but we're not yet. So anyway, Primordial boots, waiting for those to come on through. They are selling though, which is a good sign, although I'm not going to let them sit for too long. Okay, things are very volatile today. I don't want to sit on flips for too long, besides things that might make us a little bit of bank. Okay, if it's going to make us some really good bank, I will wait a little bit longer. We have I'm Rage Virus popping in as well. He says, hey, Scapenomics, good to see you, Rage Virus. Thank you for tuning in today, man. Rage, we've got the Tecate today, a nice little brew from, what is it, Mexican beer, I believe. And it's quite tasty. I was going to go with the Miller Lite, but I thought, you know what? Why not change it up a bit, boys, okay? And I know you guys love the Friday streams, okay? Because sometimes they get a little bit crazy. And we're still not profitable right now, which is an issue. So let's move a couple items around. Let's make this profit. Anyway, I do think we actually are going to have a really good margin on these Justiciar face guards. I'm going to go ahead and list them a little bit higher than where we actually margin check them. So we'll see if those swing in our favor. Regardless, though, we're going to go ahead and do the Justiciar leg guards as well. And we're going to keep those ones on margin, actually. I think the leg guards, you know, I don't think are too crazy right now. I think we should just take the profit on them at where they are. And, you know, hopefully they're going to make that margin. If they do hit that margin that we originally checked, we will actually make a fair bit of money on them. Oh, and the face guards are selling off for more than I anticipated. Super, super good flip right now. Super happy we're flipping that. And anyway, the Carol's leather tops, a different story. I thought we'd be able to sell off a couple of these things right now, but we're not able to do that. So let's go ahead and list them for a little bit lower. Try to sell a few off. Try to get that money going on there. What is this, man? That's a significant profit as well. The market is all over the place today, guys. If you are not flipping or you haven't done any flipping today, I highly recommend getting on and doing some flipping, because right now the markets are some of the craziest I've ever seen in my entire flipping career. I've never seen Jagex come out with an update where they want to change like the stats on multiple high-end items at once. They want to change how the meta works. They want to do all this stuff, and it's just crazy. I mean, I made a whole video on it yesterday because I saw the post go up and I read it and I'm like, dude, this is a crazy situation. So there's tons of profit to be made right now. If you are an avid flipper on the Grand Exchange, get to it, man. Get flipping. There is so much money to be made today, and I hope you're making some bank. So anyway, guys, if you do want to join us in our Discord group, there is a link in the description below for that. You can check that out. Basically, it's a Discord dedicated to flipping and money making in old school RuneScape. But anyway, I mean, if you're enjoying the stream, drop a like, okay? That's all I have to say. Old Times says, I want to flip, but I don't understand it. Old Times, let's, well, if you don't understand it, what about flipping do you not understand? Maybe we can walk you through some flipping and we can kind of teach you how it works. And then if we can get that done, then hey, you're going to be well on your way to making millions on the Grand Exchange. So let me know what confuses you about flipping, and I'll try to coach you through it to the best of my ability. Also, we have the Pegasian boots here. We'll go ahead and trade a few of those back and forth. We'll see if we can make a little bit of profit on it. Let's see. Hopefully the margin's not too crazy, and it's not, luckily. So, going to be a nice solid profit on those today. We'll go ahead and list about 10 of those. We're also going to knock prims down very, very slightly. Okay, those look good. Let's check the alt account as well. We do have these Carol's leather tops still buying up over on the alt account. And since we just dumped a decent supply of the Carol's leather tops back onto the Grand Exchange on the main account, I'm going to wait a little bit longer on the alt account for the buy offer to finish, because if we somehow crash the margin, then we'll be able to pick up a few cheap ones. Boy and Tofu said, this stream is not good to start out. It's not the best, but I am here to coach you through live situations, so it might be a little bit better. Like, I can answer, like, specific questions about, you know, what you're struggling with. If you've done at least a little bit of research into flipping, then I'll be able to help you out. So we have Tyler Stanley also asking a question. Sorry, Tyler, I did miss this. And he says, so when flipping high volume items with around 1 million GP, would you suggest flipping one item at a time or splitting the small cash stack? I mean, personally, Tyler, I would not recommend flipping at all with 1 million GP. And the reason you don't want to flip with 1 mil is because you're not going to make enough money to actually make your flipping session, like, efficient. Yes, you can learn how to flip with 1 million GP, but I really recommend people start with 10 mil to start flipping. If you can't get 10 mil, you can start with 5 mil and still see some decent returns, but I really try to recommend people start with 10 mil because it's plenty of money to try out a bunch of items. You're going to learn how items trade with 10 mil because you have access to a lot of that high volume stuff, and you're not going to see results with 1 mil, unfortunately. So if you did have to flip with 1 mil though, I would split the 1 mil across 2 items, but you can't really split it much more than that because you're just not going to be making enough money. So do your best all around there. And, you know, it's unfortunate that you only have, 1 mil to flip with, but if you can make money in any other, like, method in the game, try to make a little bit of money, try to get back to the Grand Exchange with a little bit more money, and get back to flipping, man. I mean, if you can get a 10 mil stack, you're going to do so much better than with a 1 mil stack, and you're going to really see the power of flipping, and I think that's very important when you're starting to flip, because if you're flipping, which to some people is not the most exciting activity, and you don't see good results, you're going to quit. I mean, I've seen it time and time again. So that's why I really, really stress trying to flip with at least 5 million GP. Anyway, enough of the rant. That's a classic Scapenomics rant right there, if I've ever heard one. Let's go ahead and list these. That should sell. Let me just double check that. Yeah, that should be good. We also have the primordial boots selling off as well. We can flip another 4 of those, so I do think I will do that. We'll go ahead and list... Actually, we'll do 3. We'll do 3 of them. We have old times. We have beautiful RS. This is great. He says, I'm up 7.7 mil in profit today. Oh my god, I'm all over the place. Dude, that's really good, beautiful RS. And I do actually want to ask, how much money are you working with? I would be curious to know. Dylan Brent says, hey, this is cool, but can you stream your Robinhood? Get this guy out of here, man. No, I can't stream my Robinhood, unfortunately. I'm not an in real life day trader or anything like that, guys. Although a lot of people do assume that I am, but I admit I am not. So anyway, we did get these overscales off. We also have the Carol's leather tops selling. Really good profit on those around. We're up about 719K right now, and I'm telling you guys, more profits coming very, very shortly. I mean, there's a ton of good items that we can attack today. I mean, I do even want to try the Dragon Hunter crossbow, but to be honest, I'm a little bit scared to do it. It might take us into the red zone as far as losses go, but you know what? We might as well try and get some really, really good profits on today's stream. Because look, it's the Friday stream. When we have the Friday stream, we get a little bit crazy, okay? And we did finish those Carol's leather tops over on the alt account as well. So that was super, super solid. Now, the Dragon crossbows as well, I've heard are actually pretty decent. So I do actually want to go ahead and flip a few Dragon crossbows if we can. And I mean, I'm sure the supply, or just like the liquidity and the sheer volume of the Dragon Hunter, or not the Dragon Hunter crossbows, the Dragon crossbows is probably freaking nuts right now. So I do want to try and take advantage of that. You know what? That's too small of a margin. We're not going to do that. Okay, on to the next item then. Let's try the Dragon Hunter crossbow instead. We'll try and buy one for, okay, we can't buy one for that. Does look like they are over 100 mil at this point though. I'm actually surprised these haven't come down at least a little bit since Jagex announced that they might make further changes to the blowpipe and the stat nerf on them. So just kind of interesting to see how crazy these things are going, even with that announcement coming out. And it's a really tight margin right now, so I do expect a breakout in price movement somewhat soon. So hopefully it's not downwards and we can make a little bit of profit on it. But again, we'll see. I mean, sometimes the Grand Exchange has a little bit of a different plan for us. But again, we're going to do our best to manage this situation and make a lot of gold today because the margins are crazy and volatility is going nuts. Tyler Stanley says, thank you. I have watched a bunch of your videos and I think I'm starting to get the hang of it. Tyler, if you haven't seen the 10 to 100 mil flipping series yet, I think that's really helpful for new players who are learning how to flip. So definitely go ahead and check that out if you're new around here and you want to just a good video series slash guide that goes into flipping with smaller cash stacks a bit more. I think that's a really good series. We have Hollow Eve saying, I started at 1.3 mil and got to 8 mil in 4 days of just like 2 hours of flipping. Hollow Eve, that is freaking insane, man. And I mean, if you're flipping right now as well, you're going to make a ton of profit. Like, things are super, super profitable right now, which obviously I'm not going to complain about. Now, I do want to see if I can cycle back into that Justiciar face guard margin on the alt account here. It's a little bit risky, but what's life without a little bit of risk, especially on a Friday night? We'll go ahead and cycle back in at a little bit of a higher margin here. We can't flip that many, though. Actually, we can only do one at a time, which is kind of unfortunate. We do have some extra slots on the alt account, though, so we can go ahead and sell the Ranger Boots back to the Grand Exchange, trying to make a little bit of money on those. Also, let's do the Dragon Arrows over on the alt account as well. Super high volume flip. I do love flipping the Dragon Arrows. I think they're a really solid flip for smaller cash stacks, one of my favorites. And only a 2 GP margin, but you know what? We're going to take it. We'll list that, let it do its thing. Lots of comments coming in here today from a lot of new people, so welcome everybody. We have Galgor saying, hey man, Sir Pugger recently released a video on bot flippers. Do you think they are crushing PVM item margins? They can. If you're flipping at an off-peak time and there's lots of bots flipping, then yes, they can crush the margins. That being said, usually player demand does crush through those bot margins. And bots also have item limits, right? So if an item is being flipped by bots, eventually they have to stop flipping it because they will get to their limit. So keep that in mind as well. Mr. BTube says, is it a good tactic to buy items to do a Slayer task or something and sell it back an hour later? This is a good question. If you're doing that, you're basically taking a gamble. Now, I recommend if someone buys let me adjust the camera here. If someone buys an item to do a Slayer task, I recommend that, it's tough, because the item could go down or could go up. It's literally a 50-50. So what I'd recommend is, do you really need the item to do the task? That's what I'm saying. Do you really need that item to go ahead and do the Slayer task? And you know what? If you're someone who likes to take a little bit of a risk or a little bit of a gamble, then you know what? Go ahead, buy the item, sell it back later. You might make a profit on it. Who knows? But I would say most of the time you're going to lose a little bit of money just because you're buying for the high price to get the item instantly, and you're selling it back later for probably the lowest price to get your cash back instantly. So if the item doesn't take a significant price movement, you're probably not going to make any money. Also, we got these oak planks off. Super nice. Let me see if there's anything that's been sitting for too long. The Kodai wand definitely has, but that's an item I just kind of want to camp because I do think the margins on that are pretty solid. So it should swing in our favor if we give it a little bit of time. We have Mira Wukin giving us a follow over on Twitch. Do appreciate that, Mira. Thank you so much. And welcome to the team over on Twitch. We don't have as many people watching over on Twitch as we do on YouTube, but that being said, that doesn't mean we like you guys any less. Anyway, guys, if you are enjoying the stream today, please drop a like. It really does help me out a lot. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I'm always bringing flipping content and flipping live streams to the channel for you guys to enjoy, so hopefully you do enjoy it. We also have Kitten Factory giving us a follow over on Twitch as well. Do appreciate it, Kitten Factory. Thank you so much. And we also have a Discord group dedicated to flipping and money making in old school RuneScape, if that's something you guys are interested in. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced player, we'd love to have you in that Discord group. We also have OSRS giving us a follow over on Twitch as well. Thank you, man. Do appreciate that. And I know you've been here since the beginning, so do appreciate it. Now, all the Dragon Warhammers came in looking a little bit suspect, but you know what? We can make a good profit on this, and we're going to do our best to make a good profit on this. These were selling for a decent price when we sold them off before, so let's list them, kind of take our hands off, and see what kind of money we can make on that. Oh, I cannot flip that many. What am I thinking? We do have the Superior Dragon Bones coming up on the alt account next. I do want to go ahead and flip those. I do think we need to drop the price on the Carol's Leather Skirt a bit, though. It's not really swinging in our favor. We've been sitting on that item for quite some time, so we will go ahead and sell that. Now, we do have 12 mil as well on the alt account. You know what? We're going to do a nice little high volume flip. We'll do the Air Orbs coming up next. Air Orbs are honestly a flip that I used to do a ton when I had a smaller cash stack. And they're a little bit, you know, more well known of an item now. But these things used to be like one of my best items. I mean, I used to flip these things day in and day out on the Grand Exchange. And I'd net like 200K every time I touch these things. These days, I'm looking more at like an 80K profit, but it's still not bad. Hollow Eve says, I've never had success with the Air Orbs. It's funny because what some people have success with, other flippers will not have success with, which I find just to be kind of funny. Like, sometimes people will be like, oh, like, you should flip the, you know, I don't know, what's an example? Like, you should flip soft clay all the time, and I can never flip soft clay for a profit. Just, like, weird nuances like that, or, like, mithril bars, that was a big one. Like, people were like, oh, you should flip mithril bars, and I could just never make a profit on them. Anyway, we really need to get some items moving. I mean, we've only made 697K on the main account so far, and we're almost an hour in, so we need to try to adjust a couple things around and make a little bit more profit today, because it's, you know, markets are super volatile right now. We should be able to make a lot of money, and I don't know why we're not, but anyway, we're going to try to turn it around to make as much as we can, okay? And look at that, Dragon Hunter crossbow selling above margin, by the way. I forgot to say that I did list that above our original margin, so super, super, super nice today. Let's try and give the Eternal Boots a run as well. Now, the Eternal Boots are a really great flip as well. They're a little bit cheaper than the Pegasians and the Primordial Boots, and they flip in a very similar pattern. Also, the limit is 15 every 4 hours, which is quite high, but we didn't get a great margin on those Eternal Boots, so we're not going to go ahead and flip those. But we will list the Dragon Hunter crossbows back for a little bit more. We still have 215 mil on hand, but the Dragon Warhammers are selling. I'm starting to see some good profits here, guys. Very excited about it. Anyway, tons of comments coming in. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Really do appreciate it. If you're enjoying the live stream over on YouTube, please drop a like. It really does help me out a lot. It gets my content up there in the YouTube algorithm. I know a lot of YouTubers say it, but it is the truth. So anyway, guys, let's go ahead and get into some of these comments here as I go ahead and relist the Superior Dragon Bones back onto the Grand Exchange. And our first comment is coming in from Mira Wukin. He says, do you think Master Wands will go back up because they crashed like 300K lately? Maybe, Mira, it's really impossible to tell. I don't know if there's any plans to make updates to that, but anyway. Eco Turtle with the follow over on Twitch. Thank you, man. Do appreciate it. And cheers to you, man. Hollow Eve said, I was told rune darts every day. For the past 2 weeks, never got a profit once. I love rune darts. See what I mean? Like, you can't get a profit on rune darts, and I love flipping rune darts. And you know what? Matter of fact, we're going to flip them right now. Rune darts are really great because I don't know why they're so good, honestly. They're just really good, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and flip them. They are one of those higher volume items, but they're not as consistent as some of the more really high volume items, right? Like the Zolver scales or the blood runes. They're not as consistent as those items, but they still are really good. They tend to have a bigger margin than the Zolver scales and the blood runes. Usually when I flip rune darts, I'm getting at least 4 GP. I wouldn't flip them for less. We have Fine Cut giving a follow over on Twitch as well. Thank you, Fine Cut. He says, hello, hello. Hope all is well. I'm doing fantastic. Thank you, Fine Cut. Do appreciate that, man. Interesting. D-Dub as well. He says, hello, hello. I hope all is well. I'm assuming they're the same person. Good to see both of you. Or one person, I don't know. And I'm confused, okay? Regardless. Galgor says, have you ever had any luck on Third Age? I've never seen you flip it. I don't like flipping Third Age because it is so heavily tied to, like, it's basically a cosmetic item, right? It's like one of those items that's really expensive. It's like a rare item, and there's really no demand. Like, there's nothing that drives the demand for the Third Age besides people being like, hey, I want to look cool and wear Third Age, right? So while there are big margins on the Third Age, and I'm not saying you can't make bank on Third Age, you can make a lot of bank on it, but it's not an item I like flipping. And the reason that is because, again, it's a cosmetic. There's no true demand for the Third Age besides cosmetic looks, and I don't like flipping it because of that reason. Things like the Dragon Hunter crossbow, I like to flip because there's a true demand behind it. You want to go to, if you want to go to Vorkath or you want to go kill brutal black dragons, you kind of want a Dragon Hunter crossbow. And now with the new updates coming in as well, the Dragon Hunter crossbow is super in demand. That was me. I didn't know you were on Twitch. No problem, Fine Cut. Okay, we got those primordial boots off. I'm hoping that the Pegations have stretched a little bit in price then, considering how long these have taken. So we will list them for a little bit higher. They'll probably take a little bit longer to sell off just because the volume on the Pegasian boots and the primordial boots are a little bit higher. But anyway, I'm not making enough money today, so we got to, change something up here. And here comes a risky flip, boys. Here it comes. We're doing it right now, okay? We're doing it right now. That was like the smallest margin of the century, dude. What the heck? This is like one of the items that is getting like a major update, and it has an abysmal margin. It's kind of interesting. Regardless, we're going to flip it anyway, see what happens. We'll go ahead and list these dragon arrows back on the alt account. Kind of been neglecting the alt account here, so we need to go ahead and say hi to it again. Also, let's try and check the amethyst crystal margin again. We'll see if we can get a good margin on it today. I mean, I haven't really taken a close look at this. We also did get the Justiciar face guard, which, hey, I think that one's actually going to make us bank. We also bought the 2 basilisk jaws as well, so I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll just flip that for the tiny margin that it's going to give us. Also, I do want to list this face guard back for a even larger margin than we flipped before. I mean, if we can flip this thing, it's definitely going to be one of our best items we've had today for sure. And we did check that amethyst crystal again. Unfortunately, the margin has shrank a good bit from where it was before, but we will go ahead and do another quantity of those, which we're going to list for about 8.8 mil worth of GP. We also got the Dragon Warhammers off as well, so profits are starting to roll in a little bit here. And we're going to cycle into some more expensive items as well. We have Lake Kiesi popping in with the wave symbol. Good to see you, Lake. Thank you for tuning in. Do appreciate it. And we have Matthew as well. He's saying, lost 6 mil on a weird Dragon Hunter crossbow shift last night. Rest in peace. The thing with the Dragon Hunter crossbow, especially now with the new updates to the blowpipe coming in, is that it's a super volatile item. I mean, no one knows where the price for this thing is going to sit around. Of course, there's a lot of speculation, which is why there's a huge amount of volatility on that thing because, I mean, people want to invest into it if it looks good, right? So people don't really know where the price is going to sit on that thing. Man, I thought margins would be a little bit better today on a lot of this very highly in-demand PVM stuff, but it's not as good as I thought, to be honest. Regardless, though, let's go ahead and check the Grazi as well. which looks like it's come down a significant bit in price. That is definitely something I'm looking at for a little bit of maybe a longer term investment, boys. I mean, honestly, this thing shouldn't be this cheap regardless of the changes that are coming into it. I mean, they are increasing the stat requirement to use the Grazi, but and some people were telling me in Discord actually that the changes to the scythe actually make a big difference. In my video that I went over for the blog changes, I didn't think that the scythe changes were actually a big deal, but apparently there's a lot of like 75 attack peers that like to use the scythe at Theater of Blood or something. I don't know, is super weird to hear it, but anyway. Makro Bood says, the Grazi Rapier is a 2 mil margin right now. We definitely didn't see a 2 mil margin on it, but if it was 2 mil, I hope it still is. Anyway, we're about 53 minutes into the flipping session today, guys. 1.2 mil in profit so far, which honestly is really not that impressive. I'm hoping we can make a little bit more money in the second half here, trying to get that profit back. Wild Muffin says, damn Tecate. Wild Muffin, good to see you, man. Dude, Wild Muffin, I thought we had to mix it up today with the Tecate. And I also got a tall boy as well. So, I mean, come on, that's kind of fun, right? Anyway, we got a follow coming in from Hum11. Good to see you. Thank you for giving us a follow over on Twitch. We do appreciate it. As you can tell, I'm all over the place with the commentary, but hey, I'm doing my best. Again, lack of sleep, doing my best to get through it, man. And drinking. Come on, give me some credit. And also flipping, which is, you know, not that brain dead of an activity. I'm not flipping it too risky. That's probably a good idea, Makro. Honestly, who knows if this will succeed or not? I mean, this could crush our session right off the bat, man. Anyway, guys, if you are enjoying the live stream, please drop a like if you're watching over on YouTube. It seriously helps me out so much. I really would appreciate it. Also, on top of that, be sure to give us a follow over on Twitch if you're watching over on there. Again, that also helps me out a lot. And thank you guys for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. You guys are the dedicated ones trying to make a little bit of GP on this Friday evening. I understand. Hey, and by the way, if you guys have any questions about what to flip with your cash tag or anything flipping related, please let me know in the comment section or the live chat section, excuse me. It really makes a big difference, and I love asking, or God, I love answering questions about flipping and money making in old school RuneScape, and yeah, ask away, honestly. Ornum says, you look like a man trying to take my money. Honestly, I'm not trying to take your money. I'm trying to teach you the best ways to flip and make money in old school RuneScape. So why don't you sit back, kick back, and enjoy the live stream, man. That is honestly what we're here to do today. Teach you guys the best flipping tips, tricks, and strategies to make money on old school RuneScape. And yeah, anyway, let me know if you have any questions. Anna says, I'm finding bigger margins on high volume items. You know, I thought that would actually be the case today too, and that's why I wanted to originally flip high volume items today. Because what I was finding is, if so many items are volatile right now, especially the really, really expensive ones, then if we were to stick to high volume items, they should still have better margins on them because they're going to be a lot more volatile, right? So it was just like, I was thinking at the beginning of the session, let's just flip high volume, and we're still going to be able to make a lot of money, but at a lot safer of a return than if we were to flip some of this more expensive stuff. And I mean, we've been camping the Kodai one for quite some time now. We haven't been able to trade one. But regardless, we have Joe giving us a follow over on Twitch. Do appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Peppa Chicken says, nice to see the views going up. Peppa Chicken, thank you for stopping by, man. Do appreciate it. And be sure to drop a like as well. Good to see you, Peppa. How you been, man? Hopefully you've been good. Hopefully you've had a couple good days here on the Grand Exchange, flipping back and forth. I mean, today is like a surprisingly a mixed session. I mean, you know, we've made money on some stuff. We've lost money on some other stuff. Not really, but we haven't made a ton of money, which I'm actually surprised. I thought today would be a lot more efficient of a session, but anyway. Joe says, let's go, boy. Cheers from Brazil. Joe, thank you so much, man. We're going to do our best here today, and shout out to Brazil. But also, guys, where are you tuning in from today? Let me know in the live chat. Where are you watching the stream from? Because we have so many people from, like, all around the world that watch this stream. So I'd love to know where you guys are tuning in from. Really means a lot to me. I love to know this, like, international community we have is just, like, kind of cool in my opinion. So if you're comfortable sharing, please let us know, man. Peppa Chicken says, I just like 1 mil today, not that good. Yeah, it's, you know, some people have been crushing it today. Some people haven't been making as much money. And I'm kind of on the not that much money side. I mean, we're only at 1.3 mil on the main account. We do have more profits on the alt account as well, but we haven't really we haven't logged out of the alt account, right? So once we log out of the alt account and we log back in, then the profits will come back onto the main account, and you can see the total profit here. Well, let me make that clear. Right here. It will add the total profit at the end. Steen says, I'm from the Netherlands. Good to see you, Steen. We have it's like 1/8 of our viewership is actually from the Netherlands, which is pretty crazy. I'm slurring a little bit, okay? No sleep, and we got a tall boy going, okay? So it's a little bit funky right now. Ezio TV popping in. He says, hello. Good to see you, Ezio TV. Thank you for tuning in. Now, we haven't gotten this Kodai wand off yet, so there was quite a big margin on this thing. I don't think we're going to lose money on it, to be quite honest, but you know, where's the profit on this thing, man? I thought this thing would trade a lot faster, and we had a buy and sell offer on this thing for quite some time, and neither offer was filling, so I'm okay about that. Like, I don't think the margin's going too crazy. Mira says, I hope the jaw didn't crash on you. Speaking of, we probably should adjust this a little bit. I mean, I'm hoping it didn't crash on me as well, but, you know, there's a very real situation where it did. So, oh, not for that, though. Hold on. Yeah, that looks a lot better. It definitely could have happened. I mean, we could lose a couple mil on the jaw. It's not really a big deal if we do, but, you know, obviously I would like to avoid that if possible. Now, let's go ahead and do, trying to think of like a couple more items. Oh, we haven't done, I know we haven't done yet. Let's do some of the ancestral stuff. That'll be good. Try the hats first. Nice, some solid margins all around here, guys. And pretty decent margin on this ancestral hat today. Happy about that. We're going to go ahead and list the limit of those, which is going to be about 7, since we did pay, we did lose one of the limit to the margin check. So, also, we do have another slot on the alt account. Let's do the, God, you know, I've started to forget like all of my high volume flips. Does that ever happen to you guys? Like, you know, you started out flipping a lot of high volume items, a lot of smaller profit items because you didn't have that much gold, and then you got a bigger cash stack and you're like, shoot, I don't remember what to flip with anymore for lower cash stacks. That's kind of what's happening to me, man. We'll go ahead and list the, well, we can't list the limit actually. So we'll list about 7,000 sharks. We can't even list 7,000. We'll do 6,500. And we can list that, so very good. Now, we also got another Sanguesti staff as well, so we're going to turn around and sell that back onto the Grand Exchange. It's going to be a decent profit on that as well. Also, let's do the, let's see. Did we do the Amulet of Torture? I think we did, right? We didn't finish it, though. We'll do the Necklace of Anguish, and then we'll get into another item as well after we finish the Anguish. Elder Maul. I don't really want to do the Elder Maul today. Maybe. We might do it later. Wow, that is surprisingly large. The Aram's rope skirts are, like, slowly selling. I don't know if we should adjust it or just let it ride, to be honest. Grazis have been dropping the last 2 hours or so. I can't get my last 2 sold for a reasonable price. Brawlers, don't tell me that, man. Don't tell me that. I don't want to hear it. But yeah, we might have to make a little bit of a price adjustment on those as well. Maybe it wasn't a great idea to go ahead and buy these. I thought I would be able to make a little bit of money off them in the short term. But you know what? Maybe that's not the case. Wild Muffin says, do you ever do mage books? You know, I can't say I really ever do mage books. You know, I don't do master wands or mage books very often, to be quite honest. But, it's just not really, one of my, like, I don't know, favorite items or anything. Anyway, we have AAL coming in with the follow over on Twitch. Do appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Now, also as well, we have, let's see, I did miss a comment here. Oh, Ezio TV, he says, so how did the update do to the, or what did the update do to the market? Ezio, I have an entire video on this, but if you want the short summary, basically, Jagex wants to change a bunch of requirements for a lot of these higher end PVM items. They also want to do a couple stat changes to kind of slow down the power creep that old school RuneScape is experiencing. So there's a couple changes coming to the blowpipe, the Dragonhide armor sets, and what was it? The Justiciar face guard, or not the Justiciar face guard, the what's it called? The God, I'm having a brain fart. The needs not face guard. That's what it is. Thank goodness I remembered that. They also want to update the Dinsborg as well. And a lot of these changes are just kind of sending the economy into a little bit of a frenzy here. Lots of volatility across a ton of items. And because of that, flipping has been really good for the most part. I know a lot of people that went flipping yesterday. They made a lot of money flipping. And it's just been interesting, so... Makro says, too volatile, TBH. Yeah, things have been crazy today. And yesterday, too. Ezio, or not Ezio, Lewinteg. Good to see you, Lewinteg. He says, I just got home. Thank you for tuning in, man. Do appreciate it. By the way, guys, if you are enjoying the live stream, be sure to drop a like. It really does help me out a lot. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. I'm always bringing flipping content and flipping live streams to the channel for you guys to enjoy. So hopefully you do enjoy it. On top of that as well, yeah, that's really all. Actually, if you want to join us on Discord as well, you can actually go ahead and do that with the link in the description below. We have a Discord group dedicated to flipping and money making in old school RuneScape. And I think most of you can tell that the beer is having a little bit of an effect on me at this point in time, but I will do my best to hold it together because we need to make some profits today, and it's actually been embarrassing. The last 2 streams have been the worst profit I've ever had in my life on live streams, so we got to turn it around. We got to think positively, and anyway, let's go ahead and try to knock these Ranger Boots down a bit. Now, the profit isn't too bad because we have had some profit on the alt account, which is not being updated on the main account here and not being updated underneath the total profit section. So there is more profit than we currently think at this point in time, and we will relog after the end of the stream to see how much money we actually ended up making across both accounts. So don't worry if you think we're not going to be able to tell how much we made. Don't worry, we will. Let's go ahead and list that back. Anyway. Ooh, we sold the face guard off. Man, dude, that thing has been a killer item tonight. And you bet I'm cycling back into that thing. Man, that thing has been making us bank, dude. Matthew Norris says, my boy is getting faded. Slowly but surely, we'll put it that way. Now, we did sell off all the Necklaces of Anguish, which is our best flip today, guys. 766k on the Necklace of Anguish. Don't miss out on that, I guess. But that was surprisingly really, really good for us. Didn't really expect that. And we also have a decent margin on the Tormented Bracelets. So we're going to go ahead and list a few of those. Try to get a little bit of profit on that as well. We did pass the 2 mil mark on the main account, so that's very nice. Anna Stelling says the Toxic Blowpipe. We should flip the Toxic Blowpipe, to be honest. Anyway, World of RS says, hey, Sierra, I hope you saw my 14 mil Kodai flip. Why are you holding 3 Grazis? They crashed on you. Yeah, we have 3 Grazis sitting in the Grand Exchange right now. Yeah, I think they crashed on me, World, but I'm not quite sure yet. So we're going to just sit a little bit longer on it and see what happens. But on top of that as well, though, I did see your massive Kodai 1 flip on the Discord group. So congrats to that, man. Super solid flip. Brendan Charles says, try Carols. We already did, man. Don't you worry. We're already on top of that Carols, man. Because someone in the Discord group posted a really good margin on the Carols the other day. And when I came into the live stream today, I'm like, yo, that's one of the first items I'm doing. Just because the margins looked really good on it the other day. I thought we'd give it another shot, you know? It looks like the market's coming down on us just a little bit here, guys. So we do need to make our way out of here. We'll lower that Aram's rope skirt a little bit. We're still in a profitable range on those, just not really as much. I bought some at 136.5 just to let you know. Okay, thank you, World. Do appreciate it, man. Ice Fox Zero, good to see you, man. I don't think I've seen you around here before, so thank you for tuning in. He says, just made 15 mil on a third age axe. Dude, that's freaking insane. He says, almost an instant buy and instant sell. Always been a slow one, but since this update, it's going crazy. Congrats on the 15 mil gains, Ice Fox, man. And what made you want to flip the third age axe, by the way? Like, what made you decide, like, hey, I'm going to try to flip the third age axe and try to make a little bit of profit off of it? Regardless, Brawler says, I got my Grazis at 135 mil and they're not selling. Time to hodl. Hey, I mean, if they're not selling, that's a little bit sketchy because I'm in at a higher price. So how does that make me feel? Anyway. Lewintake says, not even going to lie, been sketched to flip today and yesterday. Oh, also log on. I'm missing 10 mil. That's really weird. Anyway, I don't know what to tell you about that one. Regardless, guys, if you are enjoying the live stream today, please drop a like. It really does help me out a lot. If you're watching over on Twitch, be sure to give us a follow. We would love for you guys to tune in the future so you guys can learn a little bit more about flipping and money making if you're not familiar already. Also, the flipping today has been interesting because we're not really making, you know, I came into the stream today thinking we'd be able to make a killing on some of these margins, and that really hasn't been the case. And this just goes to show you how volatile the Grand Exchange can be and how often, like, you can come in expecting profits and not get them. And I just think it's a good testament to show you how inconsistent the Grand Exchange can be. Flipping is like something that is very inconsistent, right? Which is why I'm always saying, like, hey, calculate your profits over a weekly time frame or a monthly time frame instead of a daily time frame. Because not every day of flipping is the same. Sometimes you're going to kill it. Sometimes you're not going to make anything. And right now we are making nothing. So anyway, just had to put that out there. Alfonso M8 says, currently at a 6 mil cash stack, which items would you recommend for high volume? Alfonso, I'm going to list off as many high volume items for you to flip with a 6 mil cash stack. You're going to want to try to focus on the monkfish, the sharks, and the manta rays. These are 3 consumables that are always in high demand, really good high volume items. Be sure to flip Zulver scales, blood runes, death runes, nature runes, law runes. Those are all really solid options as well as far as high volume goes. Let me think of some other ones. I think air orbs are really good. Battle staves are really good as well with a 6 mil cash stack. Teleport to House, teleport to Faldor, teleport to Varrock. All solid options as well. And I think that's a pretty good starting list. Be sure to flip oak planks as well. That's a really good one, which we did go over earlier in the stream. So hopefully that gives you a good start. And we are selling the Grazis. Let's go, boys. That's huge. Honestly, that's huge. I'm super happy we're able to get one of those off because that means we're somewhere around the margin and we don't have to take a huge loss on those. Super exciting for us today. Finally turning this session around a little bit and making a little bit of profit out of it, okay? Also, maybe a good sign for, who else had the Grazis in the chat? I think it was Brawlers. I think you had some Grazis. Hopefully, the situation looks good for you now as well. James T says burnt pages. We'll take a look at those, maybe. Oh, cannonballs as well. Great suggestion coming in from Mira. Brawler says, I'm not selling mine anymore. Hold them, baby. Hold them. Anyway. Toadflax, Dragon Dart. Dragon Darts are too risky for a 6 mil cash stack. You don't want to flip Dragon Darts. But Adamant Darts, on the other hand, really solid option. Forgot about those. Also, we're getting the Ranger Boots over off the alt account here. Super nice. We're also still waiting for this freaking Amethyst Crystal limit, which I find to be quite insane. I bought out a full limit. Keck W says world. Thanks for the save, dude. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in today. I mean, I really appreciate it. Our Friday streams are typically one of our most streams, so I'm glad you could make it today. And, you know, I thought flipping today, man, on this market would be a little bit more profitable. You know, I'm a little bit scared about these Basque Jaws, no lie. We might have to take a little bit of a loss on these to try to exit this because, again, this is not something I want to hold at all. These things, ooh, I thought that would be an instant sell, but it's not. You know what we're actually going to do in this situation, which probably also kind of risky. We're actually going to go back in and list at a lower price. I mean, if these things are swinging as crazy as they are right now, then we might as well try to get a nice cheap deal on them, try to pick up some panic offers, and, you know, sell them back for a little bit extra profit, hopefully. This is a strategy that's called hedging. Now, hedging is when you basically, if you buy an item for a high price and you can't sell it back, if you can cycle back into the flip at a lower price and pick up more of the item for cheaper, then this is a strategy called hedging. Basically, what this does is it makes your average for the buy offer a lot lower. So, for example, if I bought 2 Basilisk Jaws at 18 mil and I bought 2 other Basilisk Jaws at 17 mil, then my average buy price is 17,500,000, which means it's now a cheaper buy price overall. And if the price swings back in my favor, maybe I can sell them for 17,600, then I'm still making a profit, technically. So it's a strategy called hedging. I have wanted to make a video about this for quite some time, but I've never really gotten around to it. So if that's something you guys want to see, if you want to see a risk mitigation video for flipping, then I can definitely bring that out. But it usually doesn't apply to most players, which is why I haven't really made one. Lewintag says, so did the scythe get changes? I don't remember seeing it. And if not, why is it crashing as well? 2 reasons why the scythe is crashing, okay? 1, it did get a slight change, which I think kind of gave some negative sentiment on the item. The change was that... Well, let me go ahead and list these ancestral row bottoms again, though. Whoo-wee! The change was they changed the attack level that you could actually use the scythe at from, I think it was 75... previously, and now it's going to be 85. I think that was the change that was going in. Anyway, though, it was a little bit of that, and on top of that as well, I think it was also a little bit of people selling off the scythes to flip other items. I think it was people trying to avoid downside risk on it, trying to get off the scythe just in case it crashed a bit more, and trying to, you know, kind of leverage their risk as well, try to, you know, mitigate it a little bit of it. Not leverage their risk, God, I'm such an idiot. They're trying to mitigate their risk a little bit by selling them off. So think about it. You have a scythe on hand, you hear some bad news about it, you might, you know, it's still at a decent price, you might want to sell it off, maybe flip a couple other items, and try to make a little bit of profit out of it, because that's like, what, 680 mil locked up in an item. Who knows how low it is now. We have the Amandalorian popping in as well. Good to see you, Amanda. Thank you for tuning in today to the live stream. We're getting a little bit tipsy today, unfortunately. Well, or fortunately, I mean, it's your choice on how you want to look at that one. But one thing being said, or one thing's consistent, okay? We're flipping on the Grand Exchange. We're trying to make a little bit of money, okay? Commentary is going all over the place. But we did get the Tormented Bracelets off. It's like, now, like, all of a sudden, everything's working now. Like, who flipped the Grand Exchange? And we got a Grazi off. Let's go, boys. Now, all of a sudden, everything is just snapping into place. Now we're getting a lot of action on our price, and all of our items here. The alt account isn't looking as, you know, as profitable, but still looking solid all around on the alt account. Like, we can't really complain about that, as the alt account really hasn't been our main focus. I mean, we're still making money on it, and it's nice to kind of get a little bit of profit on there, but regardless. Michael Ingram says, yo, what's up, man? Good to see you, Michael. Thank you for tuning in, man. We did get those Grazis off. We're definitely cycling right back into those immediately and trying to flip a few more, because this could be a situation where these things are going right back up in price, and a lot of people might not realize it right now. I think we have sort of an advantage on the market with those Grazis, so we'll try to cycle back in for even cheaper than we got in previously. Maybe pick up a few if people are scared and kind of panic dumping them. Similar to the Basilisk Jaw, but even though we're using the Jaw as a hedge, we're not really using the Grazi as a hedge. We're just trying to get a little bit more profit out of it, baby, and add to that coin stack. Now, you got the Torn Brace off because I bought it. Thank you, Makro. Appreciate it, man. Anyway, Mira says, Scapenomics, what cash stack should I consider starting a second flipping account? Really, really great question. If you are flipping, sorry, anyway, let me just clear this. If you are flipping on, sorry, I got distracted. If you are flipping and you want to add another account, it's really up to you on when you want to add a second account to your flipping. Anyway, if I would say generally about 200 mil is maybe when you want to start cracking open another account. You put 100 mil on one account, 100 mil on the other, and you flip from there. That being said, everyone has different requirements, right? Because some people flip a lot. Some people don't flip that much, but they still know how to do it. Some people log in every day. Some people log in every week. You know, there's really no straightforward answer to when you should start flipping onto accounts, to be quite honest, because it's just not a consistent thing. Like, for example, you might be able to make 2 mil an hour with an alt account, or you might be able to make 4 mil an hour. So some situations might be worth more, like, it might be worth more to actually make an alt account. You know, I would recommend 200 mil. Okay, 200 mil, make an alt account, split 100 mil across both, end of the story. That's my personal recommendation. Good night, Sierra. Gonna flip tomorrow. See you later, World of RS. 2 days off. Amazing, man. We also have Ice-T popping in as well. Good to see you, Ice-T, man. Cheers to you. And I hope you're having a great Friday, Ice-T. By the way, guys, if you haven't dropped a like over on YouTube yet, be sure to drop a like. It really does help me out a lot. And subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I'm always bringing flipping content and flipping live streams to the channel for you guys to enjoy. So hopefully you do enjoy it. And it's been a funky day on the markets. I mean, I think this is a super crazy day. I thought we would have made more money. We haven't made that much money, and you know, we're kind of just powering through it, kind of seeing like how we can actually maximize our profits today. And now we're starting to get our stride a little bit with some profitable items. Now, we haven't gotten this code I wand off yet, so this will probably be a loss because we did have to pay for a margin check on it. It's not a guaranteed loss or anything, but it likely will be. It's just from my experience knowing that we'll probably sell it. Learned a lot from you. Thanks, says Modi. He says, I'm Zamillion. I'm so glad you have, Modi. I mean, thank you for tuning in today. And if you have any questions about what to flip with your cash stack, regardless of how much flipping experience you have, let me know because I'd love to get your questions answered, man. That's what the live streams are all about, honestly, is answering questions and just talking with you guys. So hopefully you guys are having a great Friday. Let me know where you're tuning in from in the world. I know we have some people from the Netherlands and someone from Brazil. I wonder if he's still in here as well. Good to see all of you. Ice-T says, Saturday now. It's 1:20 a.m. Dude, that's freaking late. He says, I had an awesome Friday. I'm so happy to hear that, Ice-T. What made it such an awesome Friday? I want to know. Like, why was your Friday so good? Mine was kind of boring, not going to lie. South America, Chile here. I am Sebaloco. Yo, you have space in your apartment? I'm coming down to visit you right now, man. Or maybe you live in a house. I don't know. But make a bed for me, man. I want to take a vacation. Anyway, we do have these air orbs here as well that we haven't been able to sell off yet, so we're going to list that a little bit lower. We also have Snack Food in the chat as well. Good to see you, Snack Food. Thank you for tuning in today as well, and hopefully your stream went well, man. My Friday was good because I made bank, says Macro. I have nothing to say to that. I mean, I can't say anything negative, so I can only say positive things. Anyway, the Grazi, best flip today, 1.7 mil, super solid profit on that, and we'll try to hunt some other items here as well, guys. We do have 905 mil on hand, and, you know, the problem is, everything we want to flip today, you can't really check GE Tracker today, right? Because GE Tracker is not super up-to-date on their items, but that being, like, and when things are super volatile, like, GE Tracker's not going to give you accurate listings. But we will go ahead and sneak a little bit of a Dragon Harpoon in there. Now, with the, what is it called? What is that thing called? Anyway, I don't know what it's called. Fishing Todd. With Fishing Todd on the horizon, I know that the Dragon Harpoons have been going up a ton in price. And since things are a little bit more volatile than they usually are right now, I kind of want to see if we can make a little bit of money on the Dragon Harpoons. I think it's a solid option. And let's go ahead and flip it. You can tell, now you can definitely tell the beer is getting to me. If you can't, then I don't know what to tell you. I guess I can tell you that it is affecting me. We'll put it that way. And we'll get 5 of these Dragon Harpoons listed and ready to go, guys. And 4.6 mil in profit so far. That doesn't include the profit on the alt account, as Flipping Utilities, unfortunately, at this point, does not update profits in, like, sort of live across 2 accounts. So you'd have to actually relog to actually realize the profits onto your main account. Maybe try some Armadillo Crossbow, says Mira. Ooh, that could be a sketchy one, though. That's the problem. I do have a couple more items up my sleeve, so don't think we're not out of ammo yet. That's for sure. But we might want to cut back on some items that aren't really buying. And the leg guards, man, they've been sitting for an hour. We haven't sold them off yet, which kind of stinks, but it's not the worst thing in the world. We're still in a profitable range. If we list them here, we're still profitable, so we don't have to be too worried about it. The Aram's rope skirts, though, is something we should be a little bit more worried about, in my opinion, as we haven't really sold too many of them off. I mean, we're basically at break even if we sell them off. Okay, they sold at that point, break even, fine, we're good. Regardless, though, 944 mil on hand right now. I do want to make sure I'm adjusting things around properly, and we can sit on items a little bit longer today, right? Because items are taking massive price swings because of the volatility. So if we have to sit on something for a little bit longer, it's not really a problem. That being said, you don't want to sit on things for too long because they could be crashing on you. Things are volatile, right? So we do need to kind of hedge our downside risk a little bit. Make sure we're not being a little bit too risky with a lot of our trades here. And wow, that is quite an incredible margin. We're definitely going to go ahead and take advantage of that today, and we'll get a few of these traded back and forth. We're going up. I mean, maybe we'll go all in. I don't know. We'll go with 6 of them. We'll see how that goes. Regardless, though, we still have 735 mil on hand. We might as well get a little bit risky with it, guys. We'll do the ancestral rope tops next. We'll see what kind of margins we can get on the ancestral rope top. Hopefully, it's something decent. I mean, if it's decent, we'll go ahead and flip it. You guys know how it is. If I find a good margin, I'm definitely going to go ahead and try it, especially after paying the margin check cost for it. I mean, it would be a shame not to, right? Michael Ingram says, 50 people watching. Let's get them likes going. Guys, if you are watching the stream today, if you are having a good time, be sure to drop a like. It really does help me out a lot. If you're watching over on Twitch, what's up? Thank you so much. Give us a follow if you're enjoying it on there as well. And on top of it all, guys, if you want to join us on Discord, we have a Discord dedicated to flipping and money making in old school RuneScape, and you can join that with the link in the description below. Honestly, we would love to have you there. We focus on teaching people how to flip with their cash stack, and regardless of how much money they have or how much experience they have, we can definitely teach you a thing or two. Also, people post a lot of their flipping screenshots in there, so if someone makes a lot of money on an item, then you can maybe be like, hey, he made a lot of money, let me try it out. Or just like, hey, that's a really good item to flip in the future. Regardless, though, I'm not going to talk about it too much. If you want to join us on Discord, link in the description below. 4 million profit right now. How far are we in, boys? 1 hour and 24 minutes. Not bad. And we'll just keep it up, man. We'll keep streaming, and we'll see if we can make a little bit of profit. Looks like the bludgeons are coming through, which is great. Newman Manzor says, the blowpipe nerf, do you like it? I do like the blowpipe nerf. I think it makes it more in line with the game. As far as the markets go, it goes a little bit crazy, though. But anyway. You know, if they want to nerf the blowpipe, fine. It doesn't really affect me that much. Ice-T says you have to select both accounts, their total profit. Ice-T, you can do that, but it doesn't update in real time. You have to relog either way. Because I have it on both accounts right now, selected to all, but it still does not update in real time. You have to relog, unfortunately. We'll get you a link to that Discord, Steen. I'll link it to you, but it is in the description below if you cannot see it, but I'll put it in the live chat for you right now just in case. Well, let me go ahead and get the link first, okay? It's going to take me a sec, because you know what? I'm kind of a boomer, guys. You know, it takes me a minute to find where this invite link is, so please be patient as I try to get some invites coming in. A little bit of a boomer, like I said. And I'll post it in the chat for you guys. Not a boomer anymore. I found it. And we can post it on the Twitch as well if you give me 1 second here, guys. You know, we're not missing out on too much action here. Let's go ahead and put that in. Sorry for the delay. Anyway, how are you guys doing today? You having a good Friday? Let me know if you are. If you are, why is your Friday so good today? Let me know. Maybe you have the weekend off. I mean, if you have the weekend off, then hey, your Friday's good, that's for sure. Regardless, we've got the links in there. If you want to join us on Discord, there you go. Regardless. Ice-T says, I bought iced tea and I got some nice food, grilled meat. Very nice iced tea. You mind sharing a little bit? Would appreciate it. We also have David Wolf popping in as well. He says, someone better nerf Scapenomics because he's popping off. David Wolf, man, thank you, man. Do appreciate that. Be sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed already, but I'm sure you are. And thank you for tuning in, man. Do appreciate it. Dragon Harpoon, never seen that item, says I am Sebaloco. Wait, really? You haven't seen that? A very popular item, very hype item right now. Matthew North says, my Friday is good because I'm up 7.7 mil. Hey, can we get some hype in the chat for Matthew? Up 7.7 mil. Congrats, man. You're doing better than me. I mean, I'm having trouble moving a couple of these items around, but I guess it is what it is. Regardless, though, let's keep going. Let's enjoy this beer, man. I've got another one if we want it, but it might get a little too crazy if we get into that one. It looks like your party hat's changing colors when you look from right to left. That's because I am, man. It changes colors. I mean, it's color changing party hat. You don't have one? Hey, you're missing out, dude. Anyway, we got to move some things around on the alt account right now. I mean, we do have a decent amount of price action on the main, but it kind of slowed down again. I don't know if you guys realize that. We were getting a lot of items moved back and forth, and all of a sudden, nothing's moving. So we do want to make sure we adjust things here, and just so we can sell things and make sure we're not sitting on items for too long, right? When things are really volatile, you want to make sure you don't sit on items for too long. It's a really detrimental thing because if an item crashes on you, you can end up losing a lot of money. And we obviously want to avoid that as best as we can. We did get the Amethyst Crystal off though, which is nice. We're going to knock down the Ranger Boots though as well. And we'll just a little bit. I mean, we're still profitable on them overall. But again, we do need to take some risk off the table, try to get those off for a little bit lower. Also, the Air Orbs not working out for us today. I forget who was in here saying they couldn't flip the Air Orbs, but I can't flip them today either, man. No luck on the Air Orbs, regardless, though. 109 million GP. Let's go ahead and put it into another flip here. Should we do it? Maybe we'll try the Armored Chain Skirts, okay? This is not an item I would usually do on my alt account, but I'm kind of bored. Let's go ahead and give it a send. You know, decent margin, nothing crazy. We'll go ahead and list a few of those, and we'll let it do its thing here. And that is the beer completed. Michael Ingram says, it looks like you're... Oh, we already went over that comment. Okay. Great YouTuber, by the way. Great streamer. Mira Wukin says, I got 11k Ruby Dragon Bolts for 984 earlier. Now they're going for 1,040. Congratulations, man. And you know what's not going good for us is these Armadillo Chain Skirts. You see how fast those things bought? Not a good sign on those. We'll go ahead and list these back on the Grand Exchange. Try to sell them off, get the money off our hands, or get the items off our hands, get the money in our hands and into our bank account, because that's what we really want here today. 41 mil still on the alt account. We're losing money. Why are we losing money? We can't have this. We'll do the Armadillo Godsword on the alt account here. And the Armadillo Godsword, really consistent flip most of the time. It always makes me a safe, consistent profit. And I mean, they crash like a mil in a day, so I don't know what's going on with those, but we'll go ahead and try to flip a few of these. I don't think any updates were coming out for anything related to the Armadillo Godsword. So I don't know why they're down in price. Anyway, regardless, we'll go ahead and flip them. Probably a good situation on those. Wow, those chain skirts flipped with lightning speed. We're definitely going back and trying to get a few more of those because it was such free profit. Anyway, let's go back to the main account here. Kodai Wand still not selling. Justiciar leg arts still having trouble. As far as the Basilisk Jaws go, don't really know what to do about these. I mean, we can list them for a little bit lower, but it's not really something I want to do just because we got to keep our profits up, man. You know, I hate when I don't have any items moving on the main account. Like, do you guys ever feel that way? Like, you're flipping items, you're having a great session, and then all of a sudden, things stop moving. That's kind of what I'm experiencing right now, and I'm hoping to turn it around a little bit. We did make a fair bit of money on the Grazis, though, so I can't really complain too much, but I would like to get a few more other things moving here. Anything that's not moving on the alt account, we're definitely going to give a little bit of a shift in price. Brimstone rings not working out. We're going to dump those back. Just take the profits or the losses. I mean, I don't think we really... Oh, we did. We actually made money on those, I think. So that's good. Not too bad about that. I mean, we barely made any money, but we still came out profitable, which is kind of important. And we are getting the air orbs off as well, which is a good sign. We'll also go ahead and do the a margin check on the nature runes and the... Actually, let's do the Bandos God Sword. Since we are doing the Armadyl God Sword, I do like to pair that up with the Bandos God Sword at the same time. And we have missed two very, very high volume, also decent margin PVM items, which would be the Bandos Chestplate and the Tassets. So we have to do those as well. Don't let me forget. Regardless, we have Joe saying, I was full auto-flipping Astral Runes. Now I can hear crickets in my GE. I'm glad I'm not alone, man. Seriously, man. Whew. What about the Serpentine Helmet, says I am Subaloco. We could definitely do those. That's a good suggestion as well. Let's give it a crack, man. Thank you for the suggestion. I do appreciate it. You know, the brain is not working as well today, so I do need some help with the suggestions here. Tiny, shockingly, a tiny margin on that, which is surprising. I really thought we'd make a lot more money on that one today, but this turns out it's not going to be the case. Although these Armadyl chain skirts looking kind of good. I mean, they're definitely not looking bad, that's for sure. But you know what's kind of looking bad is these ancestral row bottoms, man. They're, you know, we gotta get these things off, dude. Like, they were a great flip before, and then we cycled back in, and all of a sudden, not as good. Don't know what happened. We'll go back and list these for about that. That's right. Okay, we're good on those. Chain skirts sold off again. We're definitely going back in for another quantity of those. A lot of free bank on those right now, so very happy about that. We can also do the Toxic Blowpipe, actually. We haven't done those yet, and I do expect the Toxic Blowpipe to be a pretty volatile item, but it's also not that expensive of an item as well, right? So I don't imagine we'll lose too much money on it if it doesn't go in our way. And it does look like it might actually go in our way. Decent margin on those right now. We'll go ahead and list a limit of about 6, which is how much we can afford. We also have these Armadyl chain skirts coming in as well. We're going to turn around and sell those for the same exact profit that we just made beforehand. And we'll let that sit and do its thing. Now we have all the bludgeons coming in on the main account here. We're going to turn around and sell those for about 2K less than we originally margin checked them. Hopefully they do sell without too much trouble. These ancestral rope tops are coming in too quickly for my liking. Usually if an item is buying up a lot faster than you expect it to, it is coming down in price, right? So we're trying to avoid too many super risky situations, just considering we already have a lot of risk here on the table, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Now, we also have these blowpipes coming in. We're going to turn around and sell those. We already got 5 of them, and it only took like 6 minutes. Or not, that definitely wasn't 6 minutes. It was about like 10 seconds, but regardless. People are snagging profits. That's what happened, says Macro. Probably right. Michael Ingram says, why does it not show the price per item anymore when you are putting in offers? That's because I had to cover up the prices as people who were watching the live streams were like merching off my prices. And honestly, I don't really appreciate that too much. So I had to cover them to make the profits more realistic on the sessions. But anyway, we're not going to touch too much on that one. Q Levy says, you could look at the Chinchampas. They had a 60 GP margin not too long ago. We'll maybe give those a look on the alt account. We also have Fenris popping in. He says, wazza! Good to see you, Fenris. Thank you for tuning in today. And yeah, we're trying to make some profits here today, Fenris, so hopefully you are enjoying. But I do have a couple other items in mind for the alt account here. We're going to do the Toxic Staff next. We could pay a pretty big margin check on this one, but we'll see. And the main account kind of looking a little bit boring, not going to lie. All the hype is on the alt account right now. So anyway. Still no instant sell on that. Not really a great margin. We'll go ahead and flip 2 of them, though. Now, another item I did want to try is the Imbued Heart. We haven't done those yet today. And I think it might be a good flip. I mean, the Imbued Heart is not something that has a lot of competition on it. It's also not something that's traded super frequently. So, we'll go ahead and trade a few of these back and forth. Decent margin on it all around. We might trade that on the main account as well, as long as I can clear it up. And we'll go ahead and list those. And the bludgeons are selling, which is good. Really good to see those sell. You guys really want me to do the Elder Maul. Why? You know, I don't really like flipping the Elder Maul. If you know my channel, the Elder Ball is not one of our favorite items because it really never works out for us that well, but we could go ahead and try it if you guys really want me to. What do you guys like about the Elder Mall so much that I don't like? What am I not seeing on the Elder Mall? Because maybe I'm overlooking something, I don't know. Alright, this Dragon Harpoon really isn't selling, or sorry, they're not buying, so we're just gonna instant sell this, get out of this flip. We actually did make profit on that too. We made about 20k, so that's very good. I do want to list the Imbued Heart over on the main account as well, because the profits on that are actually kind of looking good. I do want to make sure we hit both of those. 2 limits, let's see. Go ahead and get 8 of those since we didn't have to margin check on the main account. I never thought much of the Elder Mall personally, says Fenris. I kind of feel the same way, but we have I Am Sebaloco saying sometimes they have a 60 to 100k margin and they flip very fast. Definitely not something I've experienced, but again, everyone has different experiences on the Grand Exchange. Everyone likes different items, and I don't think there's a problem with that. The Guardian Boots as well. I do want to flip these. Kind of an abysmal margin compared to where they usually are, but we'll go ahead and flip a few anyway. It's weird today because honestly I thought we'd be making a lot more profit, and we really haven't been making that much. So not that it's really like a bad thing, it's just I expected to make a lot more. I think it's because we've had some Grand Exchange slots locked up for a long time due to items taking a super long time to sell. So anyway. Lewintake says, they never flip quick for me, but they always get a decent margin. Or, sorry, they sometimes get a decent margin. Yeah, I don't have that same kind of luck. Macro says, I made 2.8 mil in an hour. Very nice, Macro. Congratulations. We're at about 2.3 mil an hour, which is actually on the lower end for me. It's not, like, super low, but I'm a little upset with that profit. We'll put it that way. We'll sit on the bludgeons, wait a little bit longer for those. I think everything is looking pretty decent right now. I think we're looking fine. Although not a ton of action on the main. That's the only thing I really care too much about. And we can't sell any of this ancestral stuff yet, but honestly, I think we just wait. I think this is like, you know, kind of some fear on these items for some reason. I don't think we should really rush too much to sell those ancestral pieces off. I think if we do, we're just going to take a loss. And honestly, they'll probably fluctuate in our favor. So anyway. Saints fan in Van says, how accurate are the amount traded graphs on GE Tracker? Not that not that accurate because they only track OS buddy trades. If you do actually want to get accurate volume for your items, go to the official RuneScape website, search your item on the official RuneScape exchange. Like, they have like a whole exchange on there. And if you actually do that, it'll give you the most accurate volume because it tracks every trade on there. So it'll show you how many are traded daily, and it's actually pretty accurate. So I would use that instead. Matthew Noor says, Elder Malls are always a good flip for me. 381k on them today from two limits. Congratulations on that, man. I mean, that's not crazy profits. Like, if you flipped 2 limits of Elder Malls for 381k, that's not crazy, but it's still not bad. I mean, if you have a smaller cash stack, I mean, there's no reason not to take that, I guess. Anyway, guys, I really think we're going to wrap it up here today. Honestly, I'm getting a little bit tired, and you know what? Like, margins are not really swinging in our favor like I thought they would, so I think a lot of this stuff is going to take a little bit longer to trade, and I'm not going to make you sit here for like an hour just with me ranting at you the whole time, okay? Anyway, guys, I do appreciate you guys tuning in today. Really, it means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Wild Muffin, you're still in here. It's amazing. We have Mira, who's been tuning in for a long time. Saints fan in a van, been here since the start. Matthew Noor, also in here for a long time. Macro, I'm Sabaloco, everyone else in the chat, Lewintag, Fenris. We really do appreciate it, guys. I mean, I just do this purely out of hobby, just because I love teaching people how to flip. And I'm so glad you guys are enjoying the live streams, like really. Especially recently, you guys have shown amazing support, dude. So anyway, guys, Macro says you need to stream more. Dude, I stream 4 times a week. I feel like that's kind of a lot. And on top of that, I make videos for you guys all the time. So I'm really doing my best to put out as much content as I can. So, you know, I work full time. We have Galgor as well. Good to see you. BURS also tuning in as well. You know, I do my best for the content, okay? That's all I'm going to say. So, you know, I really appreciate you guys and you know, how engaged you are with the content, how much you guys love tuning into these streams. I love doing them for you. And you know what? It's just like an amazing feeling to have such a great community around me. So, sorry, the beer is getting to me a little bit. We'll keep it on track, okay? Anyway, guys, 3.9 mil so far on this session. We just hit the 4 mil mark as well. That is freaking perfect. By the way, guys, if you want to tune into the stream tomorrow, we are streaming at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so be sure to check that out. Noon at Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to flip with us. Be sure to tune into the content and join us on Discord if you're not with us already. If you want to know when we are live streaming, there's a link in the description below for that, so definitely check that out. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Give a follow over on Twitch if you haven't already. We want to see you back here ready to flip on the Grand Exchange. So many positive comments coming in, guys. Thank you so much. Q Levy says 10 mil to 100 mil continues. Yes, it will. I have an episode I'm going to film this weekend for it. I promise you. I trust me. I know I've been slacking on that series, okay, Q Levy? It's coming out, man. And thank you for holding me accountable. I do appreciate it. Michael Ingram, good to see everybody. Thank you so much. I mean, really do appreciate it. I gotta stop talking, man. I gotta stop talking. Okay. Thank you, guys. Hopefully you have a great night, and I'll see you all tomorrow for the Saturday live stream. Thank you so much, man, and I do appreciate your attendance. 4 mil in profit!